Welcome! This video is for a second language acquisition course in 4th year of the English teaching training course at University of La Pampa, taught by Sonia Suarez Cepeda and David Rodriguez Chavez. We are Laura Ramirez, Valentina Busquet, and Leon Avalos. We are studying the mental processes that take part in second language acquisition, and the study we decided to focus on was published in October 2nd, 2017 in Nature.com website. The name of this article is A Moving Story, Whole Body Motor Training Selectively Improves the Appraisal of Action Meanings in Naturalistic Narratives. The authors are Pier Giorgio Trevisan, Lucas Cedeño, Agustina Birba, Agustín Ibáñez, and Adolfo M. Garcia. Why is this study relevant for our course of studies? This will improve our teaching skills, and it will provide us with tools to enhance our students' appraisal for action meanings.
This study examines whether systematic whole-body stimulation and increased attention to visuospatial motion patterns can enhance the appraisal of action meanings evoked by naturalistic texts. A naturalistic narrative contains the story's basic narrative elements, such as plot, setting, characterization, and speech, and they have not been manipulated in any premeditated way. So the authors posit that the appraisal of actions in this kind of narratives could be enhanced by systematic practice of a real-life bodily activity. That's why they propose action texts versus neutral texts. The former kind of texts propose a 70% of clauses involving action and physical activities, action verbs. The latter involving mental and affective processes, existential, mental, and relational verbs. Regarding methods, 20 English-speaking Australian children were recruited following 4 criteria. All were verified by their parents upon signing the study's concern form. They had to have a confirmed diagnosis of dyslexia, no history of mental or neurological disease, minimal exposure to video games in the last 6 months, and a commitment not to play video games at home during the course of the study. In total, 13 males and 7 females participated in the study, with a mean age of 9.8 years and an average of 3.5 years of education. All but 3 children were right-handed, and none of them had any visual, auditory, or motor impairment. Although most of them had regular speech therapy sessions, no sessions were scheduled during the course of study. In order to understand the subjects of this study, we need to know what dyslexia is. It's a reading disorder that does not have any impact on intelligence. It deals with difficulties in spelling, reading quickly, writing words, sounding out words in the head, and it could be caused by genetic or environmental factors. The authors created 4 simple short stories narrating a day in the life of different characters. 2 of them were classified as ATs, action texts, where the characters performed multiple bodily movements. The other 2 texts were classified as NTs, neutral texts, where the characters were involved in mental or affective processes. For the creation of these materials, the help of 2 linguists was needed. They helped building the classification of verbs. 1 text of each class, meaning one from action verbs and another from neutral verbs, was used for pre-training assessment, and other 2 of each class for post-training assessment. The texts were audio recorded by a native female speaker. For each text, the authors designed a 16-question multiple-choice questionnaire that were given after each text in the pre-training assessment and the post-training assessment.
As for the procedure, we get to know that the study lasted for 11 days, consisting of 3 different phases: a pre-training phase, a training phase, and a post-training phase. In each of them, children performed individually under the supervision of an examiner. In the pre-training phase, children listened to an action text and to a neutral text, which was played twice in a row. After that, children had to solve a corresponding questionnaire. The protocol for the post-training phase was exactly the same as the one implemented in the pre-training phase. The training phase went from days 2 to 10 and consisted of 9 sessions of video gaming. Children had to play immersive, whole-body active video games on Nintendo Wii. The game chosen for this study was Rayman Raving Rabbids. Each section lasted 90 minutes, and they performed various target-directed actions, moving in particular both arms, legs, and the waist, which were constantly in motion. All children played the same games for the same amount of time. The game was chosen for this study because it required precision, fast reactions, it was unpredictable, and involved motion of both music and action. Results. The results showed a significant effect with higher values in the acquiring of process information for action texts, while the results for neutral texts remained the same. The reason for this is that with action verbs, children can experience them while doing either immersive training or by performing everyday actions. Whole body training then led to an improvement in the appraisal of action meanings on a text level confined to process-related information in action texts.
As a conclusion, the author stated that action language understanding can be selectively boosted by systematic immersive training of motor motion-related sensory systems. Further research will be needed for the neutral text training and assessment, since non-bodily action denoted that they rely on non-motor semantic circuits. Considering the evidence for this article, we strongly believe that the approach for action verbs can be helpful to create activities that will make L2 learners to enhance their motor cognition. Storytelling is a good option to put results into practice at school. The teacher could therefore perform an action text so as to provide students of the same age as in the research paper with input that they can later apply in following activities. The teacher can film him or herself while acting the story, cut the video into 2-minute footage so that later students can re-watch and then perform it. After that, students will be handed in with copies in which the story will be incomplete and disorganized. They will have to fill in the blanks with the missing verbs, and finally, they should order the sentences chronologically. This method can enhance the motor cognitive processes from our students, yet it focuses only on children that don't have motor, visual, nor auditory impairment, making it a restricted approach to acquire the appraisal of action meanings.